Okay. It's very interesting because so let's just have a try. For my own preference, right, I still like basmati the most because it's very fluffy. Second one, I would choose for the brown rice. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Bobo the Dietitian. If let's say you can recognize this person,
Hello, my name is Uncle Roger.
and as well as this thing, can you guess what I'll be doing in this video today? No. I'm not trying to review the BBC fried rice, not today. So today we'll be experimenting on the universal finger joint measuring method. You know how we Asians usually cook rice, right? We don't use like measuring cups, we don't use like glasses to measure the water. We just use our finger joints. So today I'm gonna try and see whether the method can work on different varieties of rice. Parboiled basmati rice, fragrant rice, sushi rice over here, and lastly the brown rice. So because we know like different rice, they have like different texture as well. Whether their texture will turn out fine, their texture will turn out like very gloopy. You know how like Uncle Roger don't really like it.
Rice?
Oh, the sad, gloopy rice that ran through colander.
I'll just pour them in a bowl itself, and then we'll just compare the pre-cooked kind of like texture and let you see the appearance of it. Also, this video is actually not sponsored by any brands, okay? I just randomly grabbed them from EconSafe, and mostly I grabbed the cheaper versions because we still want to go economic. Just embracing the different sounds. This can become like an ASMR episode. Okay, now moving on to the sushi rice. And lastly, too much. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you the different appearance of the rice varieties. So first I have this parboiled, oh my, this lighting is so bad. Parboiled basmati rice, which my mom also called it as the basmati.
Nani?
So here we have this parboiled basmati rice, and then we have this fragrance rice, and then this is the medium, this is not medium, this is the short grain rice, and then this one will be the brown rice. Let me just take a closer look for you. Next, we'll be trying on the finger method, so we'll cook them one by one in the rice cooker. And later, when it's cooked right, we will want to rate and see whether their texture is good. And lastly, we will also review on their nutrition content and also nutrition facts, because you know a lot of people have been saying that eating rice can cause obesity, weight gain, and also diabetes. People cannot take rice. So we're gonna debunk some of the myths later, and also to tell you which is the best rice you can go for. So without further ado, let's go!
Thousand years later.
Oh, it's actually very fluffy. This is the basmati rice. Oh, this look a bit wet actually. You can see the water. Apparently it's actually very wet, and you can hear the sound of it, like squishy sound. Ooh, look at the color, so nice. Oh, this turns out great. I think this is ngam hoe, like just nice. It's not too dry, it's not too wet also. Alrighty, so we're finally done with the cooking process, and now we're gonna review the taste and the texture itself. So we'll start with the parboiled rice. So you can see the texture is actually very fluffy. The size or the shape of the rice is also quite longish if you compare to the fragrant rice. Okay, if you just compare this one with this one, you can see that this is of longer size and then this one is shorter. The second one is actually the fragrant rice. All turned out quite well, I suppose. And then the third one is actually short grain rice. It's a bit mushy and a bit like clumping together already. And then, oh sorry. And then the last one, just fresh from the cooker, is actually our brown rice. So for this, just now after I cook it, right, I feel like this one is the fluffiest among all. And it's actually quite airy, I would say, because for parboiled rice, right, they actually went through the process of soaking, and then they also steam it, and then they also dry it. So the soaking itself actually can remove the starch, so it can make the basmati rice, right, after you cook it, it won't be like as clumpy as the other kind of rice. So I think I like this. The texture is very good. Like, you won't feel jelak eating just plain rice. That finger joint rule, Asian finger joint rule, basmati rice, pass. So for the fragrant rice, I would say it turned out a bit stickier. And also at first when I just opened the lid, right, it's actually quite watery. So let us just have a taste test. You can see that it's actually clumping together. It's unlike the basmati rice. Yeah. And you can see that it actually sticks to the spoon as well, the rice. Whereas just now it didn't happen to the basmati rice. The texture itself is okay, but it's slightly wetter if you compare to the basmati rice just now. I would prefer the water to be slightly lower than the finger joint rule, maybe not until fully here lah, not until fully the line, like slightly lower than the line itself. But anyhow, I think I'm quite okay with this kind of rice also. But just that, let's say you compare the texture between these two, I will definitely go for this one lah. Then the third one is the short grain rice, which is the sushi rice. It turned out very wet just now. But this sushi rice is also almost similar as the Korean rice that we normally see how they scoop it and then it stay intact on the spoon itself. It's very comforting to see, very comfortable. I don't know whether it should turn out like that or not because I don't really make a lot of sushis at home. So I'm not too sure whether I did it correctly or whether the ratio is okay or not. But let me just have a taste test first. Okay, so you can see it's actually quite sticky. It's even stickier than the fragrant rice. Oh my god, it's clumping become one already because I left it out too long. Okay, it's a bit sticky lah. So let's have a try. It's very interesting because although it's very wet, but it gives a bit chewy texture, a bit like close to porridge there. I mean, like, not very porridge-like, but it's a bit close towards porridge. Even the smell also like a bit smell like porridge, that kind already. It's still acceptable. I will want to pair it with my secret weapon first. They always eat sushi with all those seaweed, right? I also want to try with this and see. If my parents suddenly come down, they will be like, what the hell, you sell one 2:30 you still eating rice, someone eating 4 bowls of rice, are you okay or not? Like how they do it in the Korean movie show, they scoop it and then they stay intact, which is a very nice shape. Cha-chan! Yeah, and then they just put it like that. Okay, liking your kimchi. I need kimchi lah. It goes pretty well with this, I would. Oh my god. It almost tastes like California roll. You know, the California hand. Oh my god, that's so wrong, that hand gesture. Just that this one is still slightly watery, I would say a bit wet. it would be best if, let's say, we reduce the water to just now the one like the fragrant rice that I recommended, maybe slightly lower than the line itself. Not bad, I like it. Lastly, let's move on to the brown rice. Okay, so for brown rice, I think it turned out quite well. It's almost the same as the basmati rice. I'm quite satisfied with the result itself. This one confirmed passed the test already, so definitely on the line itself lah. A lot of people have been complaining saying that brown rice is actually very hard and all, so let's just have a try. I wouldn't say it's very hard, but definitely if you want to compare, confirm it's actually harder than the 3 rice that I tried just now. But it's not very hard. Not bad. And then it has a very different kind of aroma if you compare to these 3. Probably because it has the brand intact. So it's like a bit nutty, I would say. It's quite interesting. Okay, so if you want to compare the texture for my own preference, right, I still like basmati the most because it's very fluffy. Second one, I would choose for the brown rice. Other than the nutty flavor, right, it also gives some crunchy texture over there. Whereas for fragrant rice and the sticky rice itself, not sticky rice, the sushi rice itself, I would think it's a bit too moist and a bit too sticky for me. Okay, so in conclusion for today, the finger measuring method actually works for like all 4 kinds of rice. For my own taste bud, for my own tongue, I would prefer these 2 to be slightly lower than the finger joint itself because I want them to be slightly drier. So it depends on your taste bud as well. If let's say you're a person who can accept a little bit of wet, like just a little bit only, then definitely straight away use your finger. It's so easy that next time maybe the manufacturer, they can consider to put it in their nutrition label as well, like their nutrition instruction, they can change it already. No need to like maybe 1 cup to 1.5 cup of water lah or something like that, because normally their ratios it will be expressed in like 1 to 2 or like 1 to 1.2, 1 to 1.5. Sometimes you wouldn't know that 1.2 is what. Definitely this is a very easy way to help with like cooking rice, especially beginners also can do. So I hope you gained something from this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell. I shall see you soon in the next video. Bye bye! Okay, I need to show you something very interesting also. When you try to film alone and you need to capture all the angles, right? This is what you do. Look how I actually fix the angles using all my mom's glassware. And if let's say this thing drops and all this pecah, right, I'm gonna be dead tomorrow.